I've talked enough. Here we go. All right, it's time. We did it. It's all happening. Welcome everybody to Sunday night. Welcome to All Things Fantasy Grounds Talk Show. This is the show where we teach people and talk about Fantasy Grounds, but I must tell you that our opinions are not those of the company, Smiteworks USA LLC, or Fantasy Grounds. It's just us. So if we say anything bad or wrong,
Cheerbits. Cheerbits in the stream.
Thanks Digital Profit. Cheerbits. Thank you, sir. Digital Profit. Cheerbits. So, welcome to my co-host, Fury Fate. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm here. I might sound a little bit stuffy because I'm still getting over that sinus.
Well, we will be happy to have you, stuffy or not stuffy. We don't care. And if I had the applause button, I would push it now for Mr. Leroon. He's back, everybody. Yay! How are you, Leroon?
I'm doing good. I wish I had the automatic unstuffy button so I can unpack all this crap. But yeah, we made the move. We had a hidden benefactor, and we also did very well during our move for the most part. So I'm glad to be back and back in the saddle teaching somewhat. So.
All right, very good. Actually, Drake Takes just played applause. It turns out we do have applause in the chat.
Hey, thank you.
Play it for 500 bits, so he did it. Great. Well, I'm glad you're back. We are going to be talking about Acquisitions Incorporated tonight. Our special guest, I put here, the fucker who made it. That's me. That's what that was supposed to mean. But Leroon said, "Oh, that's me, isn't it? Right? I'm the fucker who made it back to the show." So we laughed about that. But we are going to make that green and get right into it. So let's do it. So, Acquisitions Incorporated, everybody, is broken into 3 modules. Oh, I forgot to turn. So what this is, much like the Player's Hand, or the Dungeon Master's Guide, or Xanathar's, or Volo's, or any of the other WotC books, or most books that have player components, there's the DM version, and then there's the player version. So there's obviously in the library, the player version will have the green check mark like that, and then the DM's version will have the red check mark, that, or the red X, and then there's also the adventure. So we're going to go through this. So for those of you that don't know, or have never heard of Acquisitions Incorporated, or have just zero idea what this is, for about the last 10 years at all of the PAX events, all of the PAX conventions, the Penny Arcade people started this group, and used to be DM'd by Chris Perkins, and now it's DM'd by Jeremy Crawford, and they just play D&D at a table, and it's there's like 3 groups of people, the Acquisition Incorporated main group, and then the B team and the C team. And they, 300 people just sit in an auditorium and watch these guys play. It's kind of like watching on stream, only they're doing it live. They're just all going to these events. And so they decided to put out a module adventure about it. Pretty popular. And the best way that I've heard it described is that it's like the Office television show, but for D&D. So we'll go through it, and if you guys have questions, you can let me. So let's open up the DM version and go right to the reference manual down the list here. So I love the color purple, of course. Not my favorite color. A lot of people think purple is my favorite color, and it's not. But I do like purple, and obviously my logo is purple, so that kind of stood out for me. But what this has is information on how to make a franchise like a business for yourself. And you can do this in any of your games. Doesn't matter where they are, as long as it's a D&D game, you can kind of throw this into your campaign, whatever you want. Or you can play the adventure that comes with it here, which is a level 1 to 6, takes place in Faerun. And so they kind of do both. You can either play this adventure or put it in your own campaign with the information that you're given. So, kind of goes through a little history. We will, here's a bit, make this. Yet I will still look at the table. That. So, it takes you through a little history, tells you all about it, tells you why, how you set up a franchise, why you'd want to have it, what it's good for, how to use it, who's involved, all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to hit every single point here. That would take us a few hours, but we will touch on the main point. So there is a generator for franchise. So you can use these tables to tell you different information, like where's your headquarters located. A battle-worn castle, a real fixer-upper, seen better days, better years, maybe even better centuries. By the way, there's a lot of comedy throughout the module, which I particularly enjoyed. That's why I said it's kind of like Office. Yeah, thanks, Laren, for putting that link there. And so, headquarters quirks, memorable major domos, and reliable connection. I don't even know what a fucking major domo is. I really don't. An incredibly cheerful chef who insists no business is more pressing than a full belly. Yeah, see, it's just kind of funny. But there's a lot of stuff that you can, if you don't want to come up with your own, you can, roll on the tables could kind of do it for you. No time to read the book? Who can blame you? This thing is like 200 pages. Yikes. It even says that in there. All right, so then tells you how to grow your franchise, different things that you can do. And there is some pretty good art in here, too. It's interesting to me that the picture there doesn't go all the way. Oh, I see why. But that tells you how to advance your franchise based on your tier or levels of the characters. So any information that you could possibly want on how to run the business is here. And again, we're not going to read the whole thing, but just to kind of give you a taste of what's in here. And there's stuff about hirelings, all kinds of shit. I mean, stuff about your crew. I mean, it just goes on and on. And when I was doing it, I really, there was no point where I went, hey, they should have information about this. It seemed like everything was there that you needed to do. Or information to kind of guide you to make up your own stuff too. Kind of like the Dungeon Master's Guide, where they don't really spell everything out for you, but they give you many ideas on how to create your own stuff. So transportation features, weapon features. I mean, it goes on. Arcane features, defensive features. So there you go. All kinds of good stuff. They do give you the cost of things, like, cost for equipment, airship, small castle, large castle, dry throat. How much is a dry throat? I think it costs $1. Maybe I switched my Coke to the left side. I don't know, man. That might... upkeep costs, and it basically explains, like I said, it just explains it. There are company positions, and they have different jobs per se that you can have in a franchise, and it gets into that here a little bit later. Talking about ranks, it's pretty involved. So if you want to dive deep into the business of, and this is something that I think's been missing from D&D for a while. They kind of had it. I mean, I've seen games where people have done this, but they just made it up on their own. But so there's a cartographer. There is a decisionist, and it tells you what their functions are and what they do and how they rank up and everything. There is a documancer. There is a hordes person. And it tells you if you're a hordes person, each class, what's your deal if you're a ranger, what's your deal if you're a wizard, that kind of thing. Loremonger is another one. As a rank 1 lore monker, you gain one of the following proficiencies of your choice: Artisan's Tools, Navigation Tools, Vehicles, or... Head Office also grants you the use of an appropriate toolkit. Use a tool proficiency, as well as an Indian ink pen. We'll find out what that is. There's an Obviator. There is an Occultant. There is a Secretarian. And that's it. And then and there's also downtime advice and tasks to do between adventures and stuff like that. So let's see, where are we here? Are down, yeah, okay, we're down here like this. Okay. So downtime, and then franchise tasks and for downtime, and also in the within a campaign. So if you're doing a whole campaign and you're having a franchise operation during that, it tells you everything you need to know. I mean, there's just lots of information. The book itself is 224 pages. The hardcover is. So it's a big book. Headquarters modification. The modification fails and the franchise occurs. Cost overrun of 1,000 gold pieces. Modification fails and the franchise incurs a cost overruns of 500 gold pieces. However, the cause of the failure is apparent, granting advantage on any future checks. Yeah, so it's just complications, marketing. It just goes on and on. I mean, you guys, there's so much information. It's interesting to just read, all the stuff you can do in D&D with a business, and it's a funny read too. There's kind of jokes sprinkled throughout of it. So, because normally when I get a hardback, I can't open it and go to page 1 and then read the whole thing. I just can't do it. But this one was kind of entertaining because it had jokes and stuff in it. And I'm just scrolling down. Look how far this goes. Team building. I mean, you name it, it's in here.
Does it have a trust fall for the team building?
Is there a trust fall? I don't know. Let's see. Is there a trust fall? It should be in there. I don't remember seeing that, but that wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't surprise me that these are giant paragraphs of information, so there's nothing that just says trust fall. But I'm sure that if there isn't one, you could add that in if that's the spirit of your game. You can put a trust fall and make rolls to see. So now that's just how to do the business. Now the player options, which is pretty exciting. And you see that by the artwork there, it's like they're in there's monsters learning how to chalkboards. Funny. So there's backgrounds. There's 5 new backgrounds, and of course they're all in Fantasy Grounds as you would expect them to be, with the information as you always see them, the tables and everything, and all that. So the backgrounds are Celebrity Adventurers Scion, Failed Merchant, Gambler, Plaintiff, and Rival Intern. So I love the names of those. So there's 5 new backgrounds, and it tells you kind of what to do if you're playing whatever class. So all 12 classes, it tells you sort of the best spirit of what archetype to take and stuff like that. So not required, but just kind of giving you hints about better ways to play. So yeah, it goes through every class, and there's lots of informations in tables. So Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk. It just gives you a lot of information on each class, sort of how to incorporate it at all. And see some of this artwork just makes you laugh. I mean, it's not a typical D&D that sort of looks cartoony rather than what like a high fantasy drawing, but it's just kind of funny. All the schools of magic for the wizard, yeah, so everything's there. And then there is a new race as well. There is the Verdun, I think is how you say it. So there's one new race, and of course the race is all statted out as you would fully expect with all the stuff. Some of the things it has are black blood healing. When you roll a 1 or 2 on a hit die you spend at the end of a short rest, you can re-roll it. That's pretty cool. Limited telepathy, that's pretty cool to have. Persuasive, you have proficiency in persuasion and telepathic insight, which means you have advantage on all wisdom and charisma saving throws all the time. So that's pretty powerful. That's a pretty good thing to have all the time. There are new spells. I think there's maybe 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 new spells, and it tells you here, are they bard, cleric, sorcerer, wizard, whatever. And one of the coolest things that's kind of funny, I suppose DMs could negate this if they wanted to, but there's a new spell component called the royalty component. And 2 of the spells, Jim's Magic Missile and Jim's Growing Coin, so they have, BSM, right? So this is SMR, BSR, and the R is a royalty component. Every time you cast a spell, you have to pay Jim Dark Magic's unique royalty, so you have to pay 2 gold pieces to cast this one, or 1 gold piece to cast that. Again, DMs can probably, if they don't want to mess with it, but I think it's funny, because this is just a more powerful version of Magic Missile. So you create 3 twisting, whistling, hypoallergenic, gluten-free darts of magical force. They're gluten-free, everybody. It's just funny. And these ones do 2d force, and on a crit, they do 5d4. And so you roll to see if you hit. They're not automatic. So it's just a different way to do Magic Missile. But yeah, there's 7 new spells. Pretty exciting. Distort Value, Fast Friends, Gift of Gab, Insight, Greed, Jim's 2 spells, and Motivational Speech. So they're fun. Man, I'm talking. Somebody asked me a question.
How long have you been working on this?
I worked on this 16 hours a day for about 3 weeks. I finished it. I want to say I finished it late 20s May, and I knew that WotC needed 2 weeks to approve it. And so I had to get it done, as soon as I could. But I don't want to say that I stressed about it, but I did wake up every day like, okay, just start cranking it. I mean, because when you make these things, there's way more to it than just copying and pasting text. There's like so much you have to do. But I did have a good time doing it, and it was pretty exciting for me personally, because when I was a little kid, I thought maybe one day I'll work for TSR, which I don't think is ever going to happen. I'm not, I don't see myself being a Wizards of the Coast employee or Dungeons and Dragons, as we're now supposed to call it. We're not supposed to call them WotC anymore because they want to be known as Dungeons and Dragons. When you say WotC, people don't know what the hell you're talking about unless you're a nerd. But if you say Dungeons and Dragons, everybody knows what you mean.
So Diablo Bob asked if you're going to try to include the new race into any of the pre-gen.
Okay, I'll get to that. By the way, Laren, all of a sudden can't hear you very well.
Okay.
So yeah, the royalty component is there. And Bob, we will answer that question, specifically. Factions and rivals. So there are factions that you can belong to. Wow. I think my voice is gonna go. The Noble Knight, the Silver Sliver, the Six. So those are all there for you to read about. And then here it says Chapter 4. Go to the other module, because Chapter 4 is the Adventure module, which is here separately. We'll come back to that. So the appendix. You do have the notable NPCs, and they are statted out. So they do have stat blocks if you are wanting to do that. So there's 5 of them. Omen, Jim Dark Magic, Viari, Morgan, and Flabbergast. And Flabbergast has a cat, Mr. Snibbly. So he's there too. And then there's the C team. So if you have followed the the PAX events and seen these videos, and they're on YouTube, you can go watch them. They're all on YouTube. But if you had seen it, then you would know. Like, this is Kate Welch's character, Rosie Beestinger. And so they're all there. And if you want to play, you know, Rosie B. Stinger, she's here, there with her whatever that dripping wand is. Here's her token there. I made tokens for everything. So yeah, it's all there. Walnut dank grass. That's he smokes weed. The B team is there as well. Picture of the B team's characters. And then House Dran is it's basically lore about the game, but they're also stat blocks for those characters. And then there are 5 new monsters in there, and I'll save my favorite for last. There's the Chaos Quadrupod, which is a version of some of the other monsters already in D. Clockwork Dragon. Those two don't have pictures. Deep Crow, though, and the Ancient Deep Crow, they do. They have pictures. So there's Deep Crow and Ancient Deep Crow. Yep.
So who did all the artwork? Sorry, I know I'm kind of like...
we can look that up, actually. This is my favorite. Here, I'll look up who did the artwork. My favorite is the Keg Robot. What did you call it, Leroy? The Keginator?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Keg Robot is... and it's got stats and everything. It's just funny. I just love the look of the picture. Okay, so let's see. The art was done by... So... Kate Irwin. Well, interior illustrations. Well, a lot of people. So there's about 20 artists. Do I know any of these names? I don't. It doesn't seem I do. Well, Tyler Jacobson, I know that name. No, but I know Kate Irwin. I saw her name here. Yeah, she's an art, but she's art director. I don't think she drew. And this was actually a joint. This was produced by Wizard of the Coast and Penny Arcade. So the Penny Arcade people were the one that really did all the story stuff, and then Wizard of the Coast, you know, they worked together, and so it's like a joint effort. Fantasy Grounds module by Rob Toohey. Thank you. So there's the Keg Robot, and the part, it's just hilarious where he comes into the adventure if you use it. There is this guy, Splugoth, the Returned. And then there are iconic faction features and iconic faction enterprise employee. Wow. My throat. Done this without. So, as you can see, this is quite full of a lot of information. Okay, now this is just cool. So if you guys got Ghosts of Salt Marsh or know about it, saw that they had, they finally put out the ship combat and the ship stat blocks and stuff that had previously been in Unearthed Arcana. Well, here in Acquisition Incorporated, they have a battle balloon similar to a ship, and it looks like this. But what's cool about it is, much like the ships, it has a stat block. But then within that stat block are separate stat blocks for the helm, the balloon, the propeller, the arbalester, and the harpoon guns. There's 3 harpoon guns. So you can put those on the map and or the combat tracker and have them be individual targets. And they tell you, like, you know, they give you information about what they do, and also if you hit them, you know, what happens, how bad they're hit, and all that. So it's just cool. It's just really cool to me. And then there's also, this is even better to me, there is a mechanical beholder which you can drive. It holds 4 people. It's a beholder, but you just drive it. And then also, again, it has the helm, the magical propulsion unit, and 6 eye rays, all of which can be separately targeted. So you would put them all in the combat tracker, and, you know, it's just amazing. I don't know, it's just super fun. I got to get one of those. Appendix D is the Orrery of the Wanderer. which is a Wheel of Stars magical item, which has many parts. And the adventure is concerning trying to gather up all these parts and put this thing together. And I won't spoil it, but there's different parts that you can see and what they do, and if you have these individual parts, what they do, and if you put them all together, you know. And then, of course, there is a trinkets table. There's 100 trinkets, so that's all there. And these are a couple of the pictures. There's a trinkets table, so if you need to roll for trinkets, that's it. That's the whole thing, except for the adventure. So I will show the adventure here. Should you want to be playing this, I would imagine you might want to not watch this part. I mean, attention, spoiler alert, you know, but we're going to look at it. And, you know, we won't go into detail, just show the basics. But it is a level 1 through 6 adventure, and there are 6 parts, and I believe what they do is when you finish a part, you just level up, you know, your first level, and then when you go to chapter 2 or second part, you're level 2, then you're level 3, then you're level 4, like that. So we can kind of maybe go through and not concentrate on what the story is, but maybe look at some of the maps. So here's the map of the area, and the different locations where the stuff takes place is Waterdeep, Red Larch, Phandalin, up near Lusk, and so yeah. Again, I don't want to give too much detail in case people, like I'm actually gonna be a player in this. So I mean, I know some stuff, but you know me, I forget shit 2 minutes after I do it, so it's not gonna matter to me. But if you're gonna be a player, you don't. So there is a DM map, and of course also a player map, which has less information. Nice. No, that's not what I wanted. So player dialogue, of course, always built the same way you would always see a Fantasy Grounds module built. Try to remain consistent there. So then it gets into the maps of the areas, and I did these. You know, these maps didn't match up. The grids didn't match up. Like, if you tried to grid this map, this part would be gridded and this part wouldn't. And it was all, like, they were somehow not even or whatever. So I chopped up the maps and I made it easy for the DM. So he's got a map for, you know, just that part, just this part, like that. So I went into Photoshop and I did that to make it easy for players to see, and you don't have to have one big screwed up map. So that's all there for you. And that was just the first adventure. So, and it talks about what to do for downtime in between each adventure and everything, and concluding the adventure. And then the second adventure is called Ruins of the Tressendal Manor. And it goes through, there is a map of the manor, I believe. So here's Phandalin. Some people may recognize that as being a city that they've been to in other adventures. And I'm almost positive there was a map of the manor. I don't know, maybe I passed. Oh no, these are all the things inside these are all the places in Phandalin. Okay. So yeah, here's the manor. Now this manor, they totally reused these bastards. This is totally Lost Mine to Phandelver. You guys have all seen this map. So it's the exact same map. They've reused it. But it is all different stuff, obviously. So the artwork and the physicality of it is all the same. But the stuff that's inside is all different. So it's not the same. But it is, but it isn't. And then I of course, like here, you know, spoiler alert, here's a trap, and then with the wonder of Photoshop, oh, there's no trap there. What? Right. Rid of that. Right. You know, I wanted this to be really good, so I tried to. That's what takes so long, is you going into Photoshop and spot hidden the trap and try to get rid of it on something, you know, just an image, not Photoshop layers or anything, just an image, and you gotta whoa. Oh yeah, okay, that's So then the third adventure, Darkness at the Lighthouse, is cool too because there's the lighthouse right there. Look at it. And again, I broke the map out into different parts, so the DM has a map like this, but then the players have different different sections, or different maps when they get to that part. And then there's a basement. Yes, very exciting. And then Enterprise, or Dran Enterprises is the fourth one. And there's a lot of... Oh, yeah, this one is the one with the boats. Yeah, you go to the dock, and then there's bad trouble at the docks. Don't go to... Oh, my God, don't let that thing get you. Holy shit. And... there are NPCs about that might end up joining your party or might fight you. It just depends on how things go. It's a pretty interesting adventure. It's sort of atypical. And then here's one that's kind of like a Frogger thing. You guys all start on this side, and you got to go across. These don't move, but you have to jump across and beat the other team and shoot everybody, and it's just crazy. And of course, the player map's much bigger, as you can see. This guy, Professor Lizardman, practice. So again, I'm kind of skimming on purpose because I don't want to, in case anybody wants to play, you shouldn't have too many details. Hide and Seek is where the Airship Battle comes in. There is a... Oh, yeah, this is a pretty huge map, actually. This is... Yeah, there's a... Hello. Areas to that. So fun stuff's happening there. There's a wedding that takes place, and so there's an itinerary and the events of the wedding, and then, where the players might or might not take place in the wedding and so forth. And all this other stuff. Dining hall, temple, departure. Oh, the vault, and there's a vault. And then there is a battle in the skies. You do fight on the airship. Yep, coming to this casino-looking place. There's a casino place. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And oh yeah, that room with the globe in it. And then oh, I found a mistake. Franchise downtime. Franchise downtime. Huge mistake. I better go fix that. Let's. What is that? That is the end of episode 5. Franchise. Okay, I gotta fix that. I found one mistake in the whole damn thing. And then the last episode is the showdown with the 6, and you remember the 6 is one of the factions that you could have in the game. And this takes place in it. So that's kind of opaque there because this is the upstairs, and then this down here is right here like that. So that's how that works. And there's a whole thing that happens in that bar. That it's not a bar, it's a tavern, it's an inn, whatever it is. Some kind of D&D word. Bar, kitchen. And there's basements. And I think there might even be then there's kind of the final. Don't want to give that away too much. Kind of the final showdown of the end thing, and then that's it. And then at the end, it does tell you. So if the players are level 6 and they've completed this adventure, how they can move on to do other adventures and some like that. So there you go, pretty cool. And then the only thing I didn't show the players version, but the players version is basically just the DM's version, but without stuff they should know, right? Like the players can still got the backgrounds, the race, and the spells, and they can still read about they can still read the information about the businesses and stuff. But then, obviously the player's version doesn't have the magic items, doesn't have the NPCs, So it's just like you would have the Xanathar's guide, and DM has one version and the players. There you go, guys. I talked for, I don't know, 35 minutes without stopping. So I'm pretty proud of this. I had fun doing it. I hope that people that get it will enjoy it. McClancy is going to run a little later this summer, coming up soon, actually. He's going to DM it, and I'm going to be a player in his game. That's going to be on, I think, Sundays before our show. So we'll be doing that camp afternoon. And, go ahead. It looks awesome. And it was fun to make. I had a good time doing it. It's pretty challenging. But I think any Fantasy Grounds module that you make, especially with new stuff that's never been done before, like the battle balloon and stuff, I was like, what am I? So I got a lot of help from Zacchaeus. He had made the chips from.
Nice. So, yeah, Rob, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Can we expect to see these in your latest updates for your products?
So, yes, Bob had asked about that. And I do have a spreadsheet, no surprise. So every time a WotC book comes out, all the way back to the beginning, I put it in the spreadsheet, and I put in it, what's in it? Does it have monsters, feats, classes, subclasses? What's in it? So like when this came out, AI, it had spells, backgrounds, and races. And down here is everything that I have made that concerns anything that you would have in a module or a book. So yes, when this came out, I went down here and I matched up everything. I highlighted this. I highlighted all the spells, all the backgrounds, and all the races. And then I went and I made updates. So now if you happen to own any of my DM's Guild modules that have these things, the background items, the background proficiency, the spells codings, the race traits, any of the stuff that matches up, the PC generator, the wizard spell book, anything that could possibly be affected by the new book, I always update it right away. Like when Ghosts of Saltmarsh came out, I had it updated within 48 hours. Since I made the module and already had it in my library, I had done this already. And when that, like the hour that came out, like right when it was released, I published everything on the DM's Guild. I think it was, I think I did it early. I think I did it Monday. And then, so it's all, and if you go to DM's Guild, you'll see, like if you go to any of my stuff, I don't know, let's see, spells. What do I call it? Spell coding. I can. Let's see. Somebody. What is happening? What the hell is all of this? How about if I just do this? WOHY. That's easy. All right. So let's go to. Let's go to this, and then let's go to the. What is it? Spells? Did I say? Okay, spell effects coding. So anything that has Acquisition Incorporated in it, it'll say that. It'll say, now includes Acquisition Incorporated. So I updated literally everything. And for those of you that don't know, I do have the new packages on here. So if you go, like it says here, go to this package. Actually, this is a better way to explain it. So everybody knows that I have packages. And sometimes you'll see two of them. So like here is the 2016-2017, and then here it is again. But this one has the word bundle after it. So if you go to this one, this is the old one, and everything's the same price. If you buy one and you buy the other one, there's no difference. It doesn't matter. The difference is the old one is all or nothing. You get all the files for one price and there's no discount no matter what. But I tried to, like in big red letters, I said this package has now been moved to the new DM's Guild bundle format. Click here. And if you go here, it's the same exact stuff, only if you already own stuff, you get a discount on it. So like, see, since I already own this whole thing, I can buy this for zero. I already own everything. and it shows you what you own. And then like say say this has 20 files in it, but you already own 10 of them, you're not going to have to pay for the ones you already have. So that's been a thing that the DMs Guild creators have been screaming at them for almost 4 years to do, and they finally did it. So these bundles were only published on like June. So now anybody that wants to buy my stuff, if you want to buy a bundle and you already have some, go to the new bundle and it'll give you the discount. So there you go. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. You know what we should do? Let's give away this. So, first thing, I'm going to go to Fantasy Grounds store. I'm typing that. That Fantasy Grounds store isn't like a hotkey that I have. Come on, man. Ghosts of Salt Marsh. What is this? I don't want that one. I want to go to... What? Where? What the hell? What the hell? Alright, I'm going to go here and I'm going to buy this. Proceed to checkout. $29.99. Continue. Continue. Go. Take me to my PayPal. I'm going to buy this and then I'm going to give it to somebody on the stream.
Put me down for one too, Rob.
Oh, is that right? Well, so we're going to give away 2 then. So I'm going to buy one, and Leroon's going to buy one. And then we're going to give away 2 prizes. It's going to be awesome. Play order. Now, some of you guys don't know that you can do this. If you buy something in the store, if you have a friend, maybe, Christmas at the end of the year or somebody's birthday or, whatever you want to do, you can go to your order history in Fantasy Grounds, and everything you've ever bought is there, right? Now, if you bought something within the last 7 days, there'll be a gift order button here. And this is exactly how I'm going to do... Hey, Tales of the Margrave, I'm not giving that away. I kickstarted that. I paid $0. I kickstarted that. I haven't even looked at that. So I'm going to hit this gift order, right? And then whoever wins the contest... I'm going to put your Fantasy Grounds username in there. Boom, it's in your account now. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not giving away anybody's information but my own. All right, so yeah, and I will not be doing this on stream, by the way, after the show. But let's go to the videotape. So here's what we're going to do. For the next 2 minutes, you guys type in the chat, AC Inc. So that's spelled ! ACQ for acquisitions, INC for incorporated. Acquisitions Incorporated. So it's got to be exclamation ACQ INC. And if you spell that wrong, you will not be entered. So make sure you spell it right. And if you don't think you spelled it right, type it in again because you can only enter once. You can type it in 14 times. It's only. And plus, you can see it on the screen. So if you see your name pop up in there, then you did it. And then we will draw not 1 but 2 winners because that's how we do it. Just wait till July 28th, everybody. We're giving away half. So I hope everybody appreciates this. This is $30 out of my pocket and $30 out of Leroon's pocket. Discounts. I tried. I bought one for somebody else, and I wanted to get the bundle price, and I emailed Doug, and he goes, "Yeah, you can't do that. You got to pay full price." Yeah, the raffle is a spelling test. You have to be able to spell AC Inc. or you can't get it. All right, we've got 15 people entered. So another 40 seconds, everybody. Get your entry in there. By the way, if you're watching this video on YouTube, let me remind you, first of all, thank you for watching. But you should come here Sunday nights because we give away stuff every single Sunday night. There's always something we're giving away. Keyword raffle closing in 30 seconds. 37 viewers and only half want to win. That's right. Is there 37 viewers? That's fine. 35 viewers and 51 people in the chat. Some people, I'm assuming, already have bought it. Don't want to win. Yeah, right, Rob. Who doesn't want to win this? Rob Pappin. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to draw 2 winners. Winner number 1 is Jonan. Congrats to Jonan.
All right, Jonan.
Let's go to write this down. Jonan 1 is the first.
Winner.
Winner. Beef dinner. See, I changed it. All right, now how do you go back? Where's the thing? What is it? Oh yeah, it's this. All right. Okay, Jonan. So let's draw one more winner, and that winner will be, boom, M Fontana 3. Congrats, M Fontana 3. I do not recognize your name, so I hope you've been you're a follower, so I hope you've been watching a lot. But yeah, thanks for doing that. Now, M Fontana 3 and Jonan 1, you guys need to PM me in Discord. And you need to, if you are not a member of my Discord, first of all, how dare you? And then second, you need to send me your Fantasy Grounds forum name. That's how you get your prize, is your Fantasy Grounds forum name. So let me just real quick. That yeah, so your Fantasy Grounds forum name. And now that we've gone through that and given away a couple copies of that, congrats to you guys. If you guys have questions, please put them in the chat about Fantasy Grounds. Doesn't have to be about Acquisition Incorporated. It can be about Fantasy Grounds. We would be happy to answer your questions. Also, a little preview of what's coming up. Next week, Digital Dave Middleton will be here talking about Starfinder. And the week after that, we're going to have Mark Sim from the Fantasy Grounds forums coming to talk to us about Savage Worlds. And the week after that, pretty exciting. This is a pretty big get. Lisa Chen, who was or is a Adventurers League coordinator for Wizard of the Coast, but is also like public liaison for DM's Guild. I talk to her a lot. But only I've never talked to her voice to voice. I'll only email. So it'll be exciting to have her on the show. And then the week after that, Celestian and Diablo Bob are going to come on, and we're going to actually make an extension from scratch, beginning to end, on the show. So we're going to show people how to do that. And I'm very excited because I don't know how to do that. So then I'm going to learn. And the one that we're going to make is the one, if you are in my Discord, you've seen the preview of it. It's the one that makes the next level XP accessible only by the GM and not by the players. And also, when you level up, it will automatically change that. So when you go to level 2, it'll change it to 900. When you go to level 3, it'll change it to 2700 for your next level. So that's going to be super cool.
That is very helpful.
It will be helpful, and it'll be nice to know how to make an extension, too. Once I get a hold of that information, all hell's going to break loose. I have nothing on the DM's Guild 2019. I have many titles on the Guild from 2019. Nothing that's my specific Rob 2. But once I learn how to make new shit, I'm going to tear it up. And then, of course, the week after that, July 28th, is the big show. That's the last event of the Founders Day weekend, the second anniversary of Fantasy Grounds College, where we will be giving away 4 Ultimate licenses and a $100 gift certificate to FG Store on top of that. So nice. if you see any show, Damned has an N in it. If you see any show, see that one. And then the reason this is not whatever throw up. What color is this? What is that? Barf? What color is that?
Puce.
I was just about to say that.
Light red. Like, that's boring. That's not what that. Light magenta. So the reason that's not is because I just PM Dam right before the show. He hasn't got back to me yet. We're gonna try to get him here, talk about Morecore. And then Matakiri will be here on August 11th to talk about the DM's guide Forge, which unbelievably we've never talked about. And so we have at least some ideas for some future shows. And guys, remember, we do have the Idea Informer. Or if you guys have show ideas, go ahead and click on that link and yep, here's prize away. Very good. so there's my order confirmation from Fantasy Grounds. I bought it. So yeah, guys, if you have any other questions, it's called Pink Barf. Synthetic synapses. That's what it's called. Pink Barf. Puce. Yeah. Pepto Bismol. That's good. I like it. Great show coming up. Great shows coming up. Yeah, the Garcer, you're right. So, guys, if you have any other questions, let us know. Otherwise, we'll shut her down. I might go play some. I might go play some Map Maker with Gwydion this evening if he's still into it. Is Gwydion still in the chat here? He's Map Maker. You guys know. If you don't know about Map Maker, you got to check it out. Go to the Fantasy Grounds forums. It is a free download, and it's a game you can play. It's a real life game, like a real board game, or you buy it for like $9 in real life, but you can play it on Fantasy Grounds for free. So go check it out. Pretty cool. It's pretty fun. You can play it in like 30 or 40 minutes. Okay. I guess nobody has any other questions. Yeah, you're right, Walking Dude. You do need to download More Core rule set to use it, but it's also free. Fantasy Grounds Forum. Don't have to pay a thing. Any final words from either of you two before we end the show?
No, I have some ideas for you after we get off the show.
Oh, very good. Period. I hope that you are feeling better than you did Friday, and I hope you feel better tomorrow.
Tomorrow and the next day after?
Yeah, I hope that...
I feel better than I did Friday.
You sound better, yeah.
I totally thought I was going to pass out Friday. I was like, don't fall asleep.
If you guys weren't at the game Friday, she comes to the game and she's like, yeah, I'm just trying to not die. And we were like, oh my God. But
what a trooper.
Friday was fun too. The Friday game is so fun. I that's like the highlight of my week. I love that Friday. Mainly because I don't have to do anything except show up and play. There's no work involved for me. Saturday is a different story. Yeah, I melted down on the stream last night. It was a horrible scene. Yeah, because we didn't play yesterday. It was just a nightmare. And what it was the players just couldn't get it together. They couldn't get the Wi-Fi working. They couldn't get on their, and they couldn't sign on the table. It was just a nightmare. And Dave's pretty easy going, not me. I'm fucking like hardcore. I have my personality is very rigid when it comes to stuff like that. Shit's got to be on time, and if it blows up, I blow up, and it's all over. Just quit and walk. So I was having a tough time.
Get your shit together, tighten it up, people.
Get it together, tighten it up. So let's see. Let's throw it over to the slides. I'll just press the button on my. There we go. That's how you do it. And
your new fancy studio
setup. And I got it on Tuesday. I'm gonna hook up my Go XLR, so the sound should be even better and work better and stuff like that. But I don't dare do it on any day that there's a stream, because if it all blows up in my face, then I can just say, okay, I'll fix it and go back to the way it was tomorrow. But Tuesday I don't have anything to put online, so there you go, everybody. There's the slide. Episode 1 of D&D Basic is coming up on July 6th. Yeah. The first episode, which we tried to do yesterday and didn't work out. I can go change that slide now. Actually, I already have that slide. Let me change that slide right now. Do it right here. Image slideshow. I will go into properties. You guys can't see this on stream, but I will take away announce all things Fantasy Grounds. I will that one. Then I will add one that I already made a couple weeks ago when Dave asked for it. There you go. So now that new slide will come up. So Module Creation Monday, yes, I will be here tomorrow. I will be working on Encyclopedia Formulae issue C. A and B are already done. That guy's going to do the whole alphabet. It's going to be like 5,000 spells. Not an exaggeration. Episode 25 will be this Friday. This Saturday, of course, will be DM's Guild, or DM's Guild. What's it called? 5e pickup games. Next Saturday. And then there you go. So next Sunday will be Starfinder with digital. If he's not too mad at me for me yelling at him yesterday. All right.
You yelled at him? You
I
yelled at your
didn't.
DM?
I didn't really yell at him, but I was visibly upset. I wasn't upset at him. I was upset at the situation. You know how shit goes wrong and there's nobody really to blame, but you're just mad that it even happened. That's what was happening, because what it was the players just couldn't connect to Fantasy Grounds and we couldn't figure out what was wrong and whatever. So I was just really pissed, because that's the kind of shit you need to, you don't. That's not supposed to be figured out when the stream starts. You're supposed to figure that out before the stream. But the only thing I was kind of mad at Dave about is Dave doesn't give a shit about my stream. He only cares about his, right? I wouldn't care about his either. But everybody knows if you come to my channel, shit starts on time. So we started on time, and then we spent like an hour going, oh, these guys can't connect, and then it's fucking over. I mean, it's not even on YouTube. I mean, why am I going to upload it to YouTube? Nobody will ever see it, but it was funny.
I want to see it.
Well, it is on my Twitch channel, but yeah, but if you want to
sample it,
if you want to see me melt down,
I want to make a song.
Yeah, make a song. I'll be so happy to hear it. All right, everybody, we are gonna end it. Let me do a quick announcement, or not really an announcement. It is an announcement, but you know what I mean. Here's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's the thing I post in the chat all the time that lets people know all the things they can do. So you can come to our Discord channel, you can go to the Patreon page, you can cheer bits, and thank you guys for cheering bits, by the way, and the subs. Cheer bits and the subs and the donates all go toward the Bit Boss. You can go to the DMs Guild, check the items we have for sale today over there. You can follow me on Twitter and subscribe to YouTube. DMs Guild sales today so far is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. So 12 items sold today. And the dollar amount is above 0, so that's always a good day. Other than that, I think we're done, everybody. Join us back here tomorrow if you want to see me make module. Otherwise, drop by on Wednesdays or Fridays or Saturdays to watch us play. All of you that are here now, back on Sunday is the day I was trying to say. Sunday, everybody. So thanks again, and until next time, good gaming, everyone.